Radio Rahim here with Roy Jones Jr. You know, Roy, I came up watching you. The first time I saw you was in Wild Card Gym, actually, in Hollywood. You would come in and cause all kind of trouble with James Toney walking into his gym, you know, talking the way you do. Just first of all, talk to me about what it's like to be on this side of the table now, if you will, outside the ring, calling the fight.
Well, it's fun. It's just as fun as being inside the ring almost, because now instead of doing it, you got to tell people about it, explain to the public what's going on, and I really like having that interaction with the public so that they can understand sometimes even what I was seeing when I was coming up as a fighter. So it really helps me to be able to let the fans in on the inside scoop of what's really happening during a prize fight.
You know, a lot of people enjoy George Foreman's commentary. Being a boxer and still having the faculties, the ability to communicate clearly is something that all boxers aren't able to do when they get out of the ring. First of all, talk to me about how you manage to preserve those skills and hone those skills to where you could be at the level you are right now as a commentator.
Well, you have to try to keep that head from getting hit too many times, whether it's in a real fight or even if it's in sparring. Most fighters that get messed up, people don't realize it. Even with Muhammad Ali, most of the damage was done to me inside the gym because you got bigger gloves on, you got headgear on, which means there's going to be more contact, just as hard contact, but it's more of it because the gloves are bigger and you got a bigger target. How can you not get hit more? Muhammad Ali beat most people he fought. Not many people beat on Muhammad Ali, with the exception of George Foreman, Larry Holmes. Leon beat him, but he didn't really beat on him. But not many people really beat on Ali. Ali used his feet and kept himself out of trouble. But in training, he would just lay on the ropes, kind of let the sparring partners beat on him. That's what, to me, I think, got to him. So the way you preserve that is to try to preserve yourself by not taking too much punishment in the gym or out of the gym as a youngster or coming up.
Now, with all that said, it's 2012. You've got this storied career behind you. You've got a career in front of you with all kind of options. Yet you were in the ring just 6 months ago. What is it that keeps you getting in the gym, doing that sparring, and then still getting in the ring at this point in your life?
The fact that you love the sport, you know you got a gift that God gave you, and that you always can change the world or the way the world thinks with your actions or with the powers that God gave you. So I always can change the way the world sees things with the power God gave me. I mean, if you think about it, and he's a rival, but look at what Bernard Hopkins does at 45, 46 years old. He's still competing with the young guys at that age. So what that tells people that think it's over with is that it's not over until God says it's over. Not because people think it ought to be over. Not until God says it's over, is it over.
Now we're looking at a fourth fight between Manny Pacquiao and Juan Marquez. You mentioned Bernard Hopkins. You only fought twice, but that's one of those series, it could have been series, where people would have loved to have seen you fight a rematch sooner, and then maybe we would have gotten a rubber match. First of all, talk to me about why that didn't happen, and do you think at this point maybe it would have been better if you guys had fought maybe 3 fights?
No, we wouldn't have lasted for 2 fights, because in my prime, we'd have fought again. I would have stopped him. He had contractual issues, though, that never allowed him to be able to make that second fight possible. So he was with Dunn for a long time, and he had his contractual issues. So, however it didn't work out for us to fight a second time in our primes. Had we did it, I think I would have stopped him the second time. We wouldn't have to fight a third time, and I think that's how that would have went. However, me and Tarver fought 3 times, and we still sometimes wonder we may fight again. We never know. So, I mean, it still could happen.
Now, you mentioned Tarver. Obviously he's recently tested positive for steroids. I'm just going to ask you to comment on that, and what do you think that does to his legacy?
I don't really comment on people's testing because I don't know what happened. I really didn't read the whole story. I hope that it wouldn't tarnish his legacy too bad, but, I was the start of his career. I was why he was such a known fighter. I was where he became notified. So to make up for it, he can come back down this road again. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Now, you guys did fight 3 times, and you're right. He's one of the only, I think maybe the only person who fought 3 times because he only had rematches being so successful. When you were preparing, after you even beat him the first time, then you had to prepare for the second one, you lost that fight, you had to prepare for the third one. When you're preparing for a guy who you've seen before, who maybe you feel like you've seen everything from, how do you adjust in the gym to win a fight if you just lost it?
Well, even whether you lost it or whether you won it, you have to go back and change your strategy every time, because if you beat the guy, then he's going to go back and make adjustments to whatever you did to beat him, and he's going to come out with a different game plan. If you come with the same game plan, you guaranteed to lose. So you can't come back again with the same game plan. Neither one of these fighters are here this time with the same game plan because they know that what they did the last time, both of them finished the fight. I thought the fight should have been called a draw. However, nobody decisively won the fight, so both fighters have to make a change if somebody really wants to win it. Both fighters want to win it, so they made a change, and that's with anything. So whether you win a fight or you lose a fight, you still must make changes. That's the only thing I faulted Paul Williams and his trainer for after they lost the knockout to Martinez. You said, he knocked us out, but we're not going to change anything. You didn't change nothing, then you went and fought another southpaw that they robbed, but he did the same thing to you Martinez did. They just didn't give him the decision. He wasn't quite as powerful as Martinez, so he didn't knock you out, but he basically beat you with the same punch Martinez beat you with. So because you didn't make a change. You have to make a change. If you don't make an adjustment, you're begging for defeat again.
Well, you are the master of adjustment in the ring. So let me put on your trainer hat for a minute. Give advice to each one of these guys, Marquez and Pacquiao. Pacquiao first. What adjustments do you think he should make for the fourth fight?
Attack more, do what you are planning to do, which is throw the left hand and roll to your left to avoid his right hand counterpunch. But if you're Pacquiao, you're the quicker fighter, you got to attack first. Go to the man's body. You're a strong puncher. Beat his body some.
And then Marquez.
Same thing. Marquez, you saw Margarita hurt Pacquiao with a body shot. Yet you yet to hit him with a good body shot. Why won't you go to his body? Use your jab, do the counter punches, but throw in some body shots every now and then when he's standing still. After Pacquiao flurries, jump right back in his body. Don't hit him in the head. You're not going to knock him out like that. Go to his body first. Then later in the fight, when you be able to hit him with those 1 and 2 headshot counters, it may be different.
Give me a prediction. Give me a prediction.
I think we're going to get somewhat the same fight. It all depends on what Marquez wants to do. If Marquez comes out and pushes the issue more, if he can hold up 12 rounds, he can get a decision this time. However, if he pushes the issue more, it will enable him to be caught more by Pacquiao. Pacquiao put him down 3 times in the first fight, so we know Pacquiao's the stronger puncher. If Pacquiao can catch him between some of those counters, I think Pacquiao can win the fight by knockout.
And lastly, Roy, 2013 is coming up. Not only are you obviously a student, but a master of the sport. You've been sitting ringside now. Who's the name we should look for in 2013?
Keep your eyes on Adrian Bronner, Nonito Donaire, the kid from Kazakhstan, the middleweight champ. What's his name? I forget his name, but him, Andre Ward, and keep your eyes open for my man I'm bringing back, Paul Spadafore, the Pittsburgh kid.
Pittsburgh kid. Roy Jones Jr.
Gennady Golovkin, that's him. Keep your eyes open for Gennady Golovkin, too.
Roy Jones Jr. with Radio Rahim. It's an honor and a pleasure, sir. I really appreciate the time.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.